Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today we have this position. It is white to move and win, so you can pause the video to find the answer on your own. Alright, so what do we do in this position? We have a check with a knight, we can push this pawn. Only these two are the most reasonable moves, but after this check, but it doesn't do much. I mean, only the knight is hanging, we push, and then the king can just move here, and we have no follow-up. So the most reasonable move is to definitely push the pawn to d7. Of course, black cannot capture the free knight because then we can promote to a queen. He can capture this pawn, yeah, but this is going to be completely bad. After some checks, king moves here or king moves here is going to be a check, and we win the rook, right? This is why black cannot capture this knight. So black has to go, after this push, has to go back and stop the pawn from promoting. Now what do we do? Well, a very common pattern here in the endgame phase, if rook is stopping your pawn from promoting, you have to put something in front of it, like a knight right there, bishop right here. You get the point. So we put the knight here on c8. We're trying to promote in the next move. But this is not so easy yet, because black here can take this pawn on b5. And whenever we promote to a queen, we get checked, defended by the pawn. We have to take, he takes back. And this is a draw. We can sack the knight for the pawn. Okay, but we don't want to draw, we want to win. So after he takes this pawn, we don't immediately promote to a queen. We have to play something else. We have to stop this check from happening. So you might say, okay, 97, we're stopping this check from happening. Well, he can go back. That's the thing, right? That's very annoying. And if you want to go back, well, now he can play, like, for example, rook b4, and after we promote, it's still going to be the same thing. And this knight here or knight here doesn't help because the rook is not attacked, right? And he's gonna win the pawn in the next move, or it's gonna be like this. It's gonna be a draw. So again, it's not this move because this move's too slow, and also this move allows the rook to go back to threaten the pawn. The best move here is to play knight to b6. You guess we're sacrificing the knight, but we're stopping him from giving this check right here to win the queen. Now here black can here black can do many things. Can play this check, can take, but taking like this, we just promote to a queen, and this is completely losing. After some checks, he will be crushed. So black does not take here. Okay, but what's gonna happen? Well, here black can play a rook to b4. Still not over yet, because if we promote to queen, hello, check, and we have to give away the queen, which is very annoying. So after this, after rook to b4, we have to stop these checks from happening, because these checks with the rook is going to stop the pawn from promoting. So what do? How can we stop the rook from giving the check on d4? We can pause to find the answer for that. There's only one way, and that is to play knight d5, sacrificing the knight. The beauty of this move that it is threatening that we win this rook. If the king moved anywhere else, we're just gonna lose the game because we can take and then we promote. So black in this position is forced to take. Now this forced capture forces black to inevitably have force him to have a queen. So after this move, black will be forced to deal with this position, but this is completely losing. I know that black has a pawn and a rook, so black can actually fight back. But let's see what can black do here. Can play this check on b1, but this is bad because we can play king c2. We're attacking the rook. The rook has to move somewhere, and then we can just win this pawn, right? After we win this pawn, it's very easy to try to get just checks. Just keep checking the king, and then you can fork the rook and the king. And if you play this check on d4, then we just basically move the king to e1, where no more checks, and we're going to try to get in with the queen and win this. I'm not saying this is completely easy, but this is a winning position that requires a complete set of skills that will enable you to win this with a great endgame maneuvering with the queen. But this is winning. Just keep the king right there, no checks, get the queen in, and try to fork the queen and the rook, and the rook and the king, and then you would be capable of winning. Thank you for watching.